So my name is Zakiade Adetunji. I am the founder of Ceasar Graphics and Ceasar Graphics Academy. All right, and I welcome you all to our weekly design review. Today I have just 3 designs I'm going to be critiquing. But before I get to the critiquing of the design, I need to just share this short tip with you guys, and this is it. Text and images are the key components of a layout, and they must be presented to the readers in a way so as to communicate effectively. So when you're working on design projects, your text and your image are the key components. You should make them work together, make them look like they are one family in order to help your readers quickly digest the information that you are trying to pass to them. And that is why the type of font you use for a wedding ivy should be different from the type of font you use for a hip hop poster. So I'm going to stop here on this, then I'll go straight to the critiquing of the design and share what I think is working and what is not working on the designs. I have a tutorial on my YouTube channel that I'm going to advise every designer that wants to know how to create good photo manipulation. All right. So I will advise you go check the tutorial out because the type of photo manipulation we create as designers is different from the type of photo manipulation that photographers do. All right. Our type of photo manipulation is the story part. We tell story, but photographers, they don't really tell story like we do. Okay, and like what I said at the beginning of this review, that text and images are the key components, all right, that make a layout. So when you're creating your photo manipulation as a designer, you should also have text on it. The text is what helps the viewers know and understand the message. So for this, all right, I can't really say too much on this, all right, but the only thing I'm only going to correct this person is, please, whenever you are creating your photo manipulation, try picture how things appear in real life. All right, how things appear in real life is what you are going to apply to your photo manipulation. Okay, so how things appear in real life is how you're going to play with the elements that you're going to be placing on your photo manipulation project. And the reason why I'm saying this is this. Now, if you look at this project here, we have some we have all these splash effects, you know, around this character here, which I think they are not really necessary. All right. And most time when we do photo manipulation like this, is because we make this type of photo manipulation. Most of the time we make this type of photo manipulation is when we don't have a story behind or a message behind our photo manipulation. Before getting to your PC or your workstation, we need to write down the goal you are trying to achieve. We need to know, okay, this is the message. The project is about creating a poster that tells a story about a witch, and then these are the elements I'm going to put together to make it look scary. All right. Now, these things are what you will now put together to create the project. But when you don't have that in place, you are going to end up having elements that are not, you know, necessary on the project, and also placing the elements the wrong way. Now, I can see a moon behind her here, and I can see all the smoke effects here. The connection between this smoke here and this moon here with the background is not okay. Why? Because you can't have the moon here like this and not have something like a glow effect around it. You know what I'm going to advise you, all right? If you are this designer, please go check out my tutorial on how to create successful photo manipulation as a designer. Okay, so yeah, so I'm going to stop here on this. Then I'm going to go straight to my next design. All right, now this is a beautiful movie poster project that I like. All right, and I like the fact that we have this, you know, white space here, giving us the opportunity to see the title clearly without nothing close to it. Beautiful. And then I also like the fact that we have all this information here that really flow with the face of our character here. All right, this is beautiful. And then I like the fact that we have this at the bottom of the project. I also like the fact that the color usage, all right, is the monochrome color harmony here, which is we have just one color with different values and different saturation. Beautiful. But the challenge I have with this is just sorry, I was supposed to create a new layer. So the problem I have with this is, as designers, when you're placing images on your project, all right, there's the hierarchy part of placing image. Okay, there are different hierarchy style of placing images on your project. One of it is the playing with the scale. Then the other one is the using the opacity. All right, the opacity of the image to create hierarchy. The image with the high opacity is what people see first. Then the one with the less opacity is what people see after. All right. So I'm saying this here because of this image that we have on the background here. The opacity of this image here with the value of the color on it is really fighting with this. All right. It's fighting with this. So if I have to work on this project, all right, in order to make this look more interesting, okay, what I'm just going to do is to adjust the opacity of this. All right, what I have here on my background, because I really need to control the eye movement here with the placing of my image. So what I'm just going to do is I'm going to pick a color from here, and I'm going to apply this. Then this should go down a bit like this. All right. And one good thing about placing of image on your project is, no matter where you place it on your project, no matter the strength of the opacity or the visibility on the of the image, people are still going to see it. It's still going to draw people's attention. Okay, so you now making it too strong most time is going to make the project heavy and get people confused. All right, so reduce the opacity this way, or if you know you are not if you don't place the image on the image on the background the way we have it here, you can still make it this visible, but this image should now be somewhere here. Excuse me, it should be somewhere here. But I'm not going to advise you to do that because it's going to really take more space. It's going to take more space, and we won't be able to have all this information that we have here on the project. All right, but I hope you understand my point on this movie poster that you created. It's a beautiful project. I like the layout. I like the color use on it. It's just the part where the background image is the visibility of the background image is closer, or let me say is similar to the image of our subject, of our character. You know, whenever you're creating a design project, there should be one image, there should be one focal point that draws people's attention to want to navigate through every other information on your project. But when you don't make that particular image drop attention, like if you don't have any image or illustration that draws attention to the project, you know, making people look at the project is going to be difficult. All right, now this is still a bit successful. Why? Because I still have this part of the character. All right, I still have this side of the character on a white background, which still make us see the face of the character. But it would have been more stronger if we have this less visible on the project. All right, but it's a beautiful project. I like it. It's a beautiful project. Just the fact that we have this image with strong visibility on the background. All right, so let's go straight to our last design for today. All right, now I would have loved to recreate this, but time did not permit me. All right, time did not permit me. I had so many things I am working on today, so I was unable to recreate it. Now, okay, you know what I'll do? Maybe I'll try and recreate this project so you guys can get my point. But I'm just going to share what I noticed that is not working here. And one of the things that always affects the success of our layouts, there are some principles, there are some things you must not do in graphic design that always affect our layout. First, let me just start with what the designer did well on the project, which is the use of color, beautiful color combination here. I also like the fact that all the informations are big and bold, but the big and bold is making everything too shouting, like it's calling for attention at the same time. And when you are creating a project that is calling for attention at the same time, is not different from where you are in a place where we have lots of people like crowd and everybody's too tight, and we can't even spot the person that we know among the crowd. And that's the same thing that happened when we choke our design with too many information, like when we don't allow room for white space. All right. Now, one of the things that always affect the layout of design is when you split your frame this way. All right. When you split your frame this way, it's not always nice and it's not always professional in graphic design, because it's going to look like the message here, all right, is different from the message here. Okay. And this is not okay. Don't be splitting your layout like this. Now, there are times you can do it because this business is about breaking rules. All right. There are times where you can create this type of layout. But when you are doing this, all right, there should be something, all right, there should be something holding the two frames together. All right, it's like the way we have calendar. I wish I have all those table calendars here. I know so many of you know all these table calendars. You notice they have all this spiral, all right, that hold the months together. You'll notice that when you open the calendar, there's this spiral that you see, the spiral in between the months. All right. Now that spiral between the two pages is what gives us that mindset, that feeling that they are together, like they are one family. And that's the same thing you're supposed to apply here. So if I'm going to do this, all right, I can also use the spiral here to create that connection. Or I can use something like an illustration, like this illustration of this character I have here, to create that connection, like making them look like they are together. All right, maybe like part of the clothes can just overlap on this. That's if you don't want to use the spiral now. All right, you can just use something like maybe one of these clothes we have here to just create that connection. But when you now have two separate colors, like we have here, this is different from this. You are creating separation. You are trying to say the information here is different. Now, people will see it and say, oh, yeah, they are together. But part of the ways we help our readers, part of the way we help make people find it easy to access the information on our project, but especially when we are creating infographics, is through this style that you created here by splitting this. When you check out infographics, you notice that we always have information on their separate frames, like their separate shapes. And that's similar to what you did here. But in a project where we are trying to say, okay, this is a flyer, doing this is not always nice, except if there's a connection, like something connecting them together. All right. So I'm going to try and recreate this project using this layout so you guys can get my message. I'll try and get a picture of a laundry service, and I am going to use that to explain what I'm trying to make you guys understand here. Then the other thing that I noticed that this designer did not do well, again, is the fact that we have all these bubbles here, All right. Now, the use of the bubbles is not bad. All right. It's not bad. But when it's too much, it's going to create confusion. Another good way of using this bubble, which I believe it will also help the success of the project, is making it be at the background. Make them form a pattern on the background. All right. And then you now have your information on it. But you only do that when you notice you have less information on the project. Like what I always say to you guys, that We are storytellers, and part of how we do this successfully is when we help our readers find it easy to navigate through the elements that we place on the project. But when we now load it too much with too many information that it's giving them hard time, like making them find it difficult to read, it's not going to make the project successful. All right, so it's not bad, it's not that bad, but the way you use it here is not really okay. So I'm going to try and see if I can recreate this so you guys can get my point on this. So if you don't want to miss this tutorial, I'm going to advise you to quickly hit the subscribe button, because I'm sure you are going to learn from the version I'm going to be creating, because I'm going to be sharing my tips with you, how I always achieve successful design with my layout, and also the type of picture I look for when working on design project that will help the look and feel of my projects. All right, so I'm going to stop here on this, and if you have not subscribed, kindly hit the subscribe button, and also hit the thumbs up button if you like this video. Drop your comments and share this with other creatives. Thank you again for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.